Welcome to part 2. Like and share. Spread the message.
One of the things that they were doing was brainwashing, okay, using drugs, hypnosis, in order to control people's minds, okay, interrogation techniques. They were working with foreign intelligence officials to conduct mind control research. Okay, so the things you couldn't do in the United States legally, they were doing in Egypt, which created what, guys? Probably Al-Qaeda, okay? They were also doing things that were really weird. For example, they started a brothel. And so if you came to the brothel, they gave you drugs, okay? Like LSD. And they were trying to figure out how to control your mind. But they won't do this to most people, right? Okay, well, I'll show you later on. You'll be surprised. Okay, so this is Sidney Gottlieb, and he was the man responsible for MK Ultra. And he's a chemist, okay? So he's trying to figure out how to use these drugs to control the population. And you're like, well, this is just weird. And if you talk to experts, like, well, the MK Ultra results were terrible. But then ask yourself this, what is social media? What is, if you feel bad and you go to a doctor and the doctor gives you drugs, how do they know these drugs work?
They did experiments. Disgusting. The sad truth is they are probably still doing these experiments.
Results of MK Ultra have spread throughout society. Guys, good news. You're now the pharaoh, okay? Each and every one of you are now the pharaoh. Congratulations. Something really funny about psychologists is this. Sorry, why is this happening? Okay. You may not know this, but psychologists have been known to have a greater propensity to have mental illness than most people. Your psychologist is literally more screwed up in the brain than you are. Okay? You don't believe me? Do some research.
Intriguing. Feel free to leave a comment if you have experience or haven't discovered assistance in the field of psychology.
Unhealthy. That'd be problematic, right? Also, I have not met anyone who's gotten better psychologically after seeing a psychologist. You guys might have, and I'm sure there are lots and lots of people who've benefited from seeing a psychologist, but I myself have never met anyone or seen anyone who's benefited from seeing a psychologist. And that's really weird because if you break your leg and you go to a doctor and like for years and years your leg doesn't get better, well, that's a problem, right?
Very good point. Why pay for something that after years of using made no difference?
Questions, guys? So I know this was a lot to take in, and we'll be expanding these topics as we move on, okay? But some key takeaways is all societies are first and foremost concerned with social control. And what's really interesting is who we are as a human being has not changed in thousands of years. So that the way they were controlling the pharaoh in Egypt 5,000 years ago is really the way that they control us today. And I'll show you how as we discuss the mass media, okay, and mass education and mass psychology. Okay, we have a question here.
In that case, shouldn't the social media be controlled by government? Like, for example, why Twitter or say X could be a personal thing owned by Elon Musk?
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so if it's true that social media is a mechanism for social control, why are they controlled by private citizens who've made billions of dollars doing it, right? Okay, well, let me ask you this question. Who built the internet? Do you guys know who built the internet? The US military, right? Because the internet is controlled by these cables that run around the world. Who built all these cables? The US military. Do you think they would do this for free? Why would they do this? Okay? So Twitter, Facebook, that's the public face, okay? But what people forget is behind Facebook and Twitter are all this infrastructure that's being controlled and protected by the US military. So why would the military do this? Okay? Right? And again, this is a class about speculation, about theories, okay? I'm not telling you what's true. I'm just raising questions and possibilities about what's really going on, okay? And also, like, I don't know what they did in Egypt 5,000 years ago. I'm just speculating. It's just a theory. It's a nice theory, but I have no evidence that it's true, okay? This is a disclaimer.
Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you all found today's video interesting.